These upcycled paper stockings are one of my favorite projects. They are a great way to upcycle magazine pages or catalogs. Here's a vintage book page, which is so much fun. I find Lego catalogs are great for this project, and also any baking catalog. Old maps are so much fun for this, as well as, of course, activity or coloring pages. I've even upcycled old wrapping paper. These pieces of tape are just art tape that I use to keep everything in place while I punch the holes, so it peels off nicely. And then, of course, during all the shutdowns, we ended up with lots of grocery bags, so I use those as well. But yeah, anything fun and colorful. So I made a lot of different size templates from old manila folders. I just kind of eyeballed it, but I'm sure you can find a template somewhere. This is the one I use the most, this small one, just because it fits best on most pages. So this measures about 4 inches before the toe, and then another 3 inches or so, and it's about 3.5 across at the top. I was really lucky years ago to find this damaged music book, and I've used it for so many projects. And this is just another one where it just looks really, really darling. And I'm sure you could mark these ahead of time, but I just end up eyeballing where to punch the holes. Again, the closer you punch these together, the more work it takes to punch them and to thread your yarn. You can do a running stitch just up and back down through. I ended up not liking this, so I usually end up doing a whip stitch where you're just always going and threading through the top of each hole. I think it looks really pretty. I just tie or put a little bit of tape on the end of my yarn just to make it easier to thread through. Oftentimes I don't measure my yarn ahead of time. I just kind of estimate and see what happens. Sometimes I have to tie 2 pieces together. This one, as you can see, I really, really lucked out on it. It ended up being just the perfect amount. And then when I get to the top, I just kind of turn it over and I kind of make this up. I just thread it through and tie a knot or 2 at the top. You don't want to pull too hard because you'll end up ripping through some of those holes you've just made. So just be gentle when you're doing this. And there it is. It's super cute. Again, you can make these with so many different types of materials, and you could put gifts in here. I mean, obviously nothing too bulky or too heavy, but it definitely is possible. They can also be super cute as decorations. You can make them from so many different types of materials. You can use yarn or t-shirt yarn or string to stitch these together. You can even sew them on a machine. So there's lots of options. You could also make lots of little ones of these with numbers and make sort of your own advent calendar. There's tons of ideas, and I'm sure that you will come up with plenty of your own. Thank you so much for watching. Your actions can and will make a difference.